In one of the most hypocritical elements of the Trump family, you might remember that after months of crowing about illegals and deportation and all that stuff by Donald Trump during his campaign, really serious questions came up about Melania Trump's immigration status in the US. And by all accounts, we now have realized that she was in the United States working illegally for some time, right? Trump, the law and order, everybody's got to come in the legal way or they got to go out and try to come back in, is married to a woman who was in the United States on a visa that did not allow her to work, and she was working. That is against the law. And we were told when these allegations surfaced that eventually they were going to have a press conference where it was all going to be explained, but they never held that press conference. We're still waiting, and that was about 18 months ago. So it's probably never going to happen. But there's now a new layer to the Trump family hypocrisy on immigration. Donald Trump has been staunchly and aggressively against so-called chain migration. Chain migration is part of the American visa program, and that lets immigrants who are already here petition legally to bring family members over. Okay, there's another name for it, which is called family reunification. And it turns out that Melania's own parents have been living in the United States for at least a year, according to numerous reports. And more, it seems like they are here because of chain migration. So a number of spokespeople for Melania Trump and for the White House have refused to say what the legal status of Melania Trump's parents is. And of course, one possibility is Melania's parents could be here on IR5 visas, meaning they are legal permanent residents. Another possibility is they are here on tourism visas, but they have extensions to those visas. But when a spokeswoman was asked, are they here on IR5s? Are they here on extended tourist visas? The Washington Post was told, no, none of those options apply to their situation. So again, this points more and more to the policy that Trump says shouldn't exist being the reason why Melania Trump's parents are here, chain migration. And I want to refresh this idea because it's more relevant now than ever. You can tell Trump's real views on something by what he does in business and by what he does in his life, right? If his personal view is the right one, he will still legislate on his bogus fake view, and that's bad. But what you ultimately come to, sort of, if you follow this all the way through, is a position where, at least for the purposes of Trump the president, if not Trump the businessman or Trump the private citizen, you get to a position where, well, I guess he's against chain migration as president, specifically for Muslims and brown people, but he's okay with it, especially personally, for the parents of European models, and presumably for, based on Trump's past comment, when it's white people from Norway, then chain migration maybe is okay. Now, I want to be super clear. I don't want Melania Trump's parents deported. I don't want chain migration ended. I just want the hypocrisy to stop, or for someone to hold Trump accountable for the hypocrisy. Because it wasn't that long ago, and especially for Republicans as well, it wasn't long ago when Republicans were making fun of John Kerry because his wife was foreign and she spoke another language, and so did Trump. Just make the hypocrisy end. That's what I want.
Yeah, and Kerry was a flip-flopper too, so they said. I think it's because you can't really pin Trump down. He doesn't really have a specific ideology. He's been contradicting himself for years. He became against abortion at the age of 68 or 69.
Yeah.
And he advocates one tax policy, seems to benefit from another.
You could call that not knowing anything, but the right has sort of defended it by saying, well, he's an outsider to politics, so that's why he's sort of figuring out his positions. But it's all total and utter hypocrisy. And one last tiny bit of non-outrage that would be outrage if it were related to Obama. Melania Trump's dad, who again is likely in the U.S. on chain migration because of chain migration, which Trump opposes. Melania Trump's dad is a former member of the Yugoslav Communist Party. Can you imagine for a fraction of a second if Michelle Obama's father had once been a member of a foreign country's communist party? What would have taken place? Think about it. You don't even have to answer it. And Pat's coming up with answers, but we all know exactly what it is that would have happened on right-wing media if Michelle Obama's dad was a former member of the whatever, Slovakian Communist Party.
Oh, well, no. I mean, we can't talk about Melania's parents because they're living their private lives.
Of course.
So we can't also talk about Michelle Obama's parents either.
Yeah, totally different standard as usual. Chain migration. What else can we say? This is something you can discuss on our subreddit if you want at davidpakman.com/REDDIT. We'll take a quick break. We've got a great interview coming up for you today. Today's episode of the show is made possible in part by Brilliant, which is really an amazing website that lets you engage in fun and interesting problems and puzzles to learn more about really important stuff: math, science, engineering. The community aspect of Brilliant is great. There's over 5 million members. They're bringing together the knowledge and experience of their students, their educators, the professionals around the world that develop a lot of the hands-on learning problems that you will work through. And learning with a community makes a huge difference, right? When you use Brilliant, you're part of that 5 million member community. They share your curiosity and love for math and science. And the community at Brilliant also supports your learning because you build a connection with the subjects you're learning by interacting with other people studying the same material. You can get started right now by signing up for free at brilliant.org/David Pakman. First 200 people who visit brilliant.org/David Pakman will get 20% off an annual premium membership. That is brilliant.org/David Pakman. Support us by supporting Brilliant.